Up. So we live? Okay. So we are live. Welcome to Tech It All Live, not Game It All Live, because that's on Monday. We are doing Tech It All Live. Today is the 26th of March, 2016. Oh yeah, we're bringing to you today a very kind of short episode because I don't know.
Easter.
It's the holidays, so I don't know. We didn't have much to talk about. So we're just gonna, go with it, go with the flow. And as you've probably seen, our title for the episode is Bad AI. So we're gonna be talking about very messed up AI and also VR porn. Oh yeah, you gotta get the right in your face. So it's gonna be crazy. Because
It's it's a good thing Smell-O-Vision never took off.
well, you knew this was gonna happen. It had to happen. Like at some point, because how big is VR at the moment? It's retarded.
Yeah,
You know,
it's increasing all the time.
everyone's
It's really at the point now that it's not going to flop like 3D TV did. Like there's
yeah,
actual people pushing out content for it, so it's going to stick around.
yeah. There's actual real content being made and produced. Why the hell am I getting an error, Twitter? Oh, you douchebag! Damn the Twitters! All right, I'm gonna repost. Oh, goddamn! Why? Why? Damn the Twitter. Try to redo that so I can go on with my life. An update? Oh, hell no. Well, I'm just going to send him the freaking message and he can deal with it. Not my problem.
It's like we really need like a technical difficulties screen, and there's just somebody like burp, 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 burp.
Pretty much. Well, because like I posted to Facebook. That worked. I have posted to Twitter a crap load of times. I don't know if I forgot something in my thing.
I have no idea.
I added a bunch of things. Okay, cool. All right, so Luke will deal with it. Not my problem. I fucked it up. Not my problem. It's like, thank you for hello IT. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Yes.
Yeah.
It has not worked. It's still broken. Please fix it.
Doing it live on top of that.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so let's get into this. So Microsoft decided it was a good idea to let AI go on Twitter. Twitter's not a good place for, because
the internet in general is not a good place for any AI.
No, because AI essentially at this point in time is like a child. And a child is very susceptible to all sorts of crap. You can tell it, go jump off a cliff, go run in the street, go play with knives. A child does not know any better. So they shouldn't have threw the AI on the Twitters. They should have, nurtured it and took good care of it like a child, not just pushed it out in the ghettos. In the ghettos, I'm going to the ghettos.
From what I gathered, though, it's mostly to test AIs to see if,
the interaction,
what they learn in what environments, and like it's not necessarily just Twitter that was the issue, though. It was more of the kind of communities it ended up getting in contact with, which in North America, a large portion of the big mouths are always the trolls and the racists. So that's pretty much what that AI ended up joining in. But in Japan, they had a different version just for there, and that AI became an otaku. Just started talking about anime all the time.
That's funny.
So
okay,
it really does reflect internet culture, but also in a more localized area, not just globally.
Yeah. So my title was way too frickin' long. That's why it failed on the Twitters. I had over 140 characters.
That's why. Twitter's supposed to be updating that soon, aren't they? Where you could have like 10,000
I
characters.
don't know. I don't follow the Twitters.
Yeah.
I'm not on Twitter, so I don't know. It's this
I
thing
have
that
one,
people.
but I mostly just share pics that I like. But once I've been thinking about taking a more serious approach to it lately.
Well, the whole thing with Twitter that I remember when it first started, and that it was interesting and people were kind of using it, and then it kind of went downhill and it looked like it was about to fail, and then people started using it and it started building a crap load of momentum, and it swinged into what we have today. But at one point it was really going down and about to die.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, if you can garner a lot of followers, it becomes a pretty impressive tool. Like, you just put a short update and everybody's seeing it.
Like, oh my God, I'm pooping.
Well, I mean something a little more substantial.
Yeah, like this thing's going on, or, you should go check out this commercial or something. People are going to be like, oh, hell yeah, I will go check that. There's a link to something. So,
except not for commercials. Everybody's got ad blocker.
No, but like a YouTube video or something.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That they post a link about, some band has their new video or something, or a new trailer comes out for a movie, and the studio's like, oh, hey, you should go check out our trailer. It's cool. That's not Batman versus Superman. I'm sorry. Oh my God, did you see Sad Ben Affleck video?
I saw a quick clip of it. I didn't watch the whole thing though, but it was really funny.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, in the video, they have, what's the Superman, the guy that plays Superman. And they're like, here's the reviews for the movie. And he goes on a big fucking spiel. And then you see Ben Affleck just like almost falling apart. He's just so sad looking.
Yeah, I think he really wanted the movie to do well because he's been through that before with that Gilly movie, which is one of the worst movies ever made.
Well, same as freaking Daredevil.
Yeah, Daredevil didn't do too hot either. I mean, worse for wear, it was a little bit better when it first came out, I believe. And then, it started to go downhill from there.
Yeah.
But I think part of the problem is that people never really gave the guy a chance. They were already bashing on him as soon as he was announced to be Batman. And it became just a whole hype train just to hate the movie, whether or not it was any good. Personally, even some of the bad action hero movies I enjoyed because I watch action movies for action, not stories. And and on top of that, they're imaginary, which a lot of people don't seem to understand. So,
well, yeah, they're a work of fiction. That's just it. Like, a movie that people love to hate is The Running Man. I love The Running Man. It's a great movie. And that's just it. And people just hate these movies. There's The Last Action Hero, or all these awesome 80s movies that were just so ridiculous and over the top, but they're just fucking awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what a lot of these movies should be. This is probably a topic for the for the Game It All podcast or this whatever. But I had no problem with it. I think the only major superhero movie I had a problem with was the last Fantastic Four one, which was unwatchable garbage. But I mean, I liked the first two pretty decently, even though they're universally panned. It's really hard to get worse than that. And
pretty much.
I can guarantee you that Batman versus Superman is not that bad. I think it's very much just a victim of people looking for things to hate on it for.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I'm not gonna pay money to go see it at a theater. I'm gonna wait until it goes on Netflix or something.
I would have,
And
but I've just been really sick, so I can't drive. So I'm gonna have to wait out for a release.
so yeah, I'm gonna wait until I can see it at home and not pay money. But like I was fine paying money to go see Deadpool because Deadpool was different. Deadpool was amazing.
Yeah.
So, but that's just me, And hands down, Stan Lee in Deadpool was
Funny.
Well, we talked about that at work. Like Stan Lee's best cameos are Deadpool and also Mallrats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get
back to the
AI.
original topic. Yeah, they because we brought up Beyond Porn and then just sort of took off from there. But the reason it made a headline is because some of the major porn sites.
Oh, wait a minute, wait. We have to do it. We have to do freaking sponsors. We're halfway through the damn show already.
Yeah, but did we have another topic after that?
No. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about? We had a really short show today. That's the thing.
Okay. Well, before it goes any more downhill, read your sponsor, and then we'll try to.
All right. Well, let me just give my 2 seconds more of AI stuff. Yeah. Microsoft learned something very valuable, that the internet is a very dangerous place for your AI. So, yeah, it could easily turn into Skynet.
I just thought of something. Speaking of AI, just before we let that topic go, finally,
there you go.
IBM announced that some papers had released where they're trying to configure basically the structures of the thousands of computer chips it took for that AI that beat those Go players. They figured out a way to put that on one chip. And that chip is designed specifically for AI, so it would speed up AI learning by almost 30,000%.
So they could essentially take that and take Watson and
pretty much.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty much the idea behind it, because machine learning is not the same thing as a machine working. In a sense, like x86, for example, it's great for computers and games and all that, but when it comes to a computer that needs to be able to think the way a human does, it's not efficient.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because the whole thing with the x86, you give it a set of parameters to, compute, it spits you out, some results, and that's all it does.
Yeah, it's basically a calculator and nothing else. Everything else that happens is because of code specifically. But for actual machine learning to be able to improve, it needs a network that can think of more things than one line at a time.
Yes, and dynamically evolve in over time of doing specific tasks. It going, oh hey, we did this time. Let's try something different to and then expand and grow.
Yeah.
So
there's no actual chip yet, but the paperwork is in place for it. So I would say we'd probably see something. I would say within 5 years. Obviously.
Yeah.
We take the cell phone off. Obviously, it would nothing be and something that not all of us can ever see or touch, because that's obviously an enterprise thing.
But what the hell is B-Stroker?
What?
We got a follower on Twitter by B-Stroker. I love it. Oh my god, I applaud. But yeah,
that's basically it. It's just AI is still very young. I believe most people compared even the highest forms one as like a 3-year-old.
Yeah,
so
because
it's still growing. So
we're in relatively infancy of these different autonomous systems of technology. We are still in the early fundamental of this.
It'll probably be another I would
20,
say
30?
20 to 30 years before we see something like comparable to the Halo universe Cortana,
Yeah.
rather than the desktop assistant version.
Oh yeah, because we are at the point of like the prehistoric era of AI, and we're slowly evolving and growing and learning new things about what it can do. So we will see where we get to at some point in time.
All right, so who's our sponsor this week?
All right, so we are talking this week. Oh my God, we are talking about HostGator. HostGator is super cool because, you know, that's our platform that we're on. So they, you know, provide our hosting. So we got quite the deal for you. So HostGator is the leading provider of shared reseller VPS and dedicated hosting solution. Their award-winning support is available 24/7, 365 via the phone, email, live chat, yeah, etc., etc. So, you know, it's awesome. You can also discover why over 9 million websites trust HostGator for their hosting and domain and all their other needs for, you know, a really low price and actually really, really affordable hosting package. So if you want to get a awesome new website, and everyone should have a website because, you know, you do anything, or if later on you want to have a business or whatever, get yourself a damn website. You already have the domain. If you keep just the domain, you got that domain. You're fine. If you want to do something later on, you're good to go. So if you sign up for a brand new hosting package, use the coupon code TechItAll at the end when you're finalizing your purchase, and you will receive 25%, 25%, which is crazy, off your first hosting plan. That's like a quarter of the price cut. So, like, you know, that's a crap load of money saved. So, yeah, that's what we're going with. We are going with HostGator. Oh, yeah.
25% is like a quarter off?
It's a quarter off, baby. Well,
it's just funny the way you ordered it.
well, let's say you know, you got it cost you $100. You're saving out $25 that you could put towards something else. So if
like
you,
VR porn.
like VR porn, there you go. Oh yeah, if you're doing video content, you're good. But yeah, so yeah, 25% off. Go right ahead. Go to the website. Go check it out. TechItAll at checkout. Awesome. Cool. All right, so that's sponsors out of the way. Let's talk about porn. Everyone loves porn. People love porn. It's a big, massive industry. So, get this. Pornhub is giving away Google Cardboard to kick off their new virtual reality channel, which is cool. Also, if you do not want to go through Pornhub, if you buy the what is it that I bought? If you bought the VR edition of the new Megadeth album, it came with cardboard goggles inside the damn box.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
And it was only $16 at Walmart.
Not bad.
I was completely sold. I'm like, $16? Google.
I'm actually not that familiar with Google Glass. Isn't there like a like you construct the thing out of cardboard, but isn't there like a pair of lenses that fit inside of it?
Yes. There are actual 2 glass lenses inside of it, and then you have a thing that goes around your head so you can hold, like it holds on like a rubbery thing.
Have you actually used it?
No, I have not fully constructed it because I couldn't figure it out. There was no instructions inside the box. But there's these cool suction cups in the back here that hold your phone. And it works for Android and iOS. You just have to go on the App Store and punch in the code that's inside the box to get the virtual reality experience that goes along with the album. So essentially with the album art, and I'm guessing there's some stuff that goes along with the album.
All right. Well, once you get it working, let us know, because that's something that everybody at the site wants to try sometime.
Well, yeah, because it's $16, and I don't know if you can still buy it because it might have been a limited run kind of thing. But for $16 you get a full set of VR glasses with my Samsung that can do it with essentially Gear VR. So yeah.
Nice.
Yep, pretty cool. But yeah, so yeah, they're kicking off a virtual reality porn channel. So I don't
It's
know.
a surprisingly high demand, but I mean, porn in general was one of the biggest drivers of the internet to begin with. So it's not surprising it's going to be one of the biggest drivers for a new medium.
Yeah, pretty much. Wait. Halfway, there you go. Yeah. But yeah, porn is a very big fucking industry, and I'm not surprised that they're doing VR porn at the moment because, you know, and how cheap is Google Cardboard?
They've basically been doing it since the first Oculus dev kit came out.
Yeah,
So.
and like, and yeah, and how Google Cardboard is cheap as all hell. All the most expensive part that you need is the glass.
Yeah, Cardboard and Gear VR are great for 2D VR essentially, where it doesn't need any real it doesn't need any real processing, where it's passive and it's not actively rendering a 3D environment. You're just sort of seeing it through a camera lens, and that's it.
Pretty much. It was exactly the same as the passive 3D with the 3D TVs like LG's TVs. Those were passive, but like if you bought the Sony platform or the Samsung or Sharp and a couple other companies, you actually needed powered 3D glasses, which were a pain.
Those are Shutter 3D, which is arguably the best way to watch something 3D.
But whereas, they were a pain.
Yeah, they're definitely, because they're hard to find for one thing. But the TV I got has the passive 3D where the screen basically deinterlaces.
Yeah.
Is that the right word? Basically, it polarizes every other line of the screen. And then, it uses polarized lens to filter it into 3D.
Yeah, and yeah. But that's what the Sony one had. My PlayStation one had, that you had the powered glasses, and I don't know. It was it was a pain in the ass to use. That's why 3D failed.
Yeah, it wasn't very innovative in the sense that it was not easy to use. It was very expensive, but the biggest killer is that there was really nothing to watch.
No content. Like, there was barely any content. Oh, and we actually have a full Canadian price on the bundle. If you want to buy the bundle for PlayStation VR that has the camera and the 2 Move controllers and the VR headset and the PlayStation World. The what?
It's just a bit over $500, wasn't it?
It's $700. It's $699 for the whole bundle.
Because the American version is only $49.
Yeah. So $700, and you need to put at EB, you need to put $100 deposit on it. And what else are they saying? They said that there's a bundle that will be like just the VR itself for
in a few days. Yeah, it'll be basically without the camera and Move controllers, but
about $100 less. But you're still looking at $600.
Yep.
So,
I did not think the Canadian price would be that high. I thought it was a lot closer to the American one.
No. That's $700 for the bundle, because how many people actually have a PlayStation camera and also the Move controllers laying around?
Probably not that many, because the Move controllers are the same as when they were on PS3, so at least that part's not too bad. But it's pretty modular. I think some people will have a lot easier time once PS 4.5 comes out and a lot of that will be bundled into the packages directly.
Well, yeah, that's just it. So, and $700, that's a crap load of money. I can do a lot of stuff with $700.
Okay, let's
Even
say
600. Well, yeah, with that amount of money, I can buy a really nice TV.
Yeah.
And still use it for other stuff. Like, because am I really going to use VR every single day? Probably not. I'm probably not going to be playing VR games all the time.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something people have to consider before buying. One is the price, two is what model they want, and three, whether or not it's something that they want to invest in. So it does have some setbacks. That doesn't mean it's gonna crash and burn and go away like a lot of
No.
people are saying, but it's definitely first wave, and not everyone's gonna get access to it. It's just as simple as that.
Well, and for $700, I can almost buy both consoles if they're on sale.
Yeah.
So
Didn't the Xbox just drop price again?
I think it's on sale right now. Consoles, let's see. The Quantum Break one is $400. Yeah. No, they're $400. They dropped in the States.
Oh, okay.
But in good old in good old Canada, but you can get the Quantum Break one that's ice white for $400, and PS4. Yeah, you can get that sexy Uncharted bundle for $500, but it only has a 500 gig hard drive. Well, that's not worth it.
Yeah, I'm really thinking about upgrading my hard drive later this year because I'm constantly having to delete games whenever I buy a new one.
And they don't have a 1 terabyte on the site. What the hell?
That's probably offered elsewhere though.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, that's just it. So yeah, I could, if I can get them both on sale, I could buy that instead of a PSVR and PS. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of money, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be super limited stock, and people are going to look for these things.
They're already sold out, and some stores are just starting to get expanded stock, but the demand for it is actually a lot heavier than people were thinking.
Yeah. So they're going to be really, really hard to find. I remember working retail when the original Wii was massively huge, same as the Wii Fit, and people would come into the store every single day asking, "Did you get some more in stock?" And we were like, "No, there is none." So we'll see what happens. I don't know.
But at least the nice part about the pre-orders is that it's giving Sony some heads up of how much they need to make, because it's not due to be out till October, so they got about 6 months to.
It gives them good allocation numbers of what they need to produce and what they need to put out, and what the demand is.
Because like when the Wii came out, Nintendo definitely underestimated how much they would need to make.
Oh yeah, because the price was affordable. The price was so cheap that people would go, oh, I have a PS3 or I have I have a 360 and I also have a Wii. It's like I have one or the other and a Wii. So, and that's the whole thing. How many people have Wiis laying around?
Yeah,
there's one behind me.
I actually went the opposite route. My last Nintendo console was the GameCube. I never bought any of the other ones after.
I didn't have Nintendo. I have not had my own Nintendo console that I bought like for myself since the SNES, because that was the wife's. Okay, the Wii U was between the both of us. I paid half of it, so okay, I guess the Wii U. But before that, it was the SNES because I went to the PS1 before I never went to the N64. Same as the GameCube, I was on the PS2, and so on and so forth.
I was strictly console. I never made a full move to PC gaming until I actually got my own PC when I graduated. So it's I was a bit late in that game.
I've always just had PCs laying around as a growing up. Like we had always the family computer that, and my father was really big into flight sims, so we usually had the flight stick. So I adored those things. Like I grew up with the flight stick, and I loved them. They were great.
My dad was so anti-computer that he was sure, like his number one rule was that if anybody brings a computer in the house, there's no webcam at all, because he's sure that as soon as you plug in a webcam, somebody's already hacked it.
Oh yeah.
That's what they want to see. An overweight kid playing games.
Yeah. Yeah, what else? Yeah, so pretty much I'm not surprised that porn is coming to VR at all. That's my final 2 cents, and you have a cat on the screen. So yeah, no surprise at all. What else was I gonna say? Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty much a short show.
It was really short.
Son of a bitch, hold on. My cat stepped on the keyboard and locked me out of the computer.
You're still talking, but yeah, locked you.
There you go.
So yeah. Yeah. I have to say the Steam controller is a very odd controller.
Oh, you got one?
Yeah, it's well, I because I bought tires in November, and I was supposed to get a $40 gift card, like a Visa card, prepaid thing, and I gave up hope it coming in last month. I'm like, it's never gonna come in. I'm not gonna get it. And then I went to check the mail last Friday, and I'm like, oh hey, something from the States. What the hell is this? So I opened it up, $40 gift card. I'm like, awesome. What am I buying?
Have you tried it out?
Yes, it's an odd controller. It's got the trackpad for your left analog stick, your right analog stick, but it works so smoothly. So you can use it as kind of a mouse. So it works like a trackpad on a laptop, but you use your thumb, and it's decently nice and accurate. So if you'd be playing an RTS, it'd be great. And then you can use your shoulder buttons as your right and left mouse buttons. And it's got these awesome triggers on the bottom. And yeah, it's a very intriguing controller. I'm still getting used to it.
From what I've heard about the controller, excuse me, was that a lot of games are not really properly mapped on it, so a lot of games are going to give you some really weird controller schemes.
Yeah, you have to, the community is really good for building controller schemes, because you can go into the Steam thing and go set up my controller, yada, 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 and go through it and pick different controller layouts, and they're completely mapped to the controller, and depending on the game that you're playing, they'll have community developed controller schemes, which is kind of interesting. But is it perfect?
No.
This is from a company that developed software forever. They're a software company, and then they developed a store that was super successful, and now they're doing hardware. Is it comfortable? Fuck yes. It's hands down. I love it. I love the feel. It's super nice and comfy, and not a pain in the ass to hold. It's nice.
Yeah. It seems though that it's not good for people who are not very tech savvy. Like a lot of people wouldn't know to go download controller mapping and stuff. Even if you said controller mapping, I can guarantee a lot of people don't know what that means.
Yeah, well, that's just it. It's these things are made for techie people. Well, they're in-home streaming. The in-home streaming. That's it's running a game from a computer in a totally different room on your TV.
I actually did it by accident over the winter. I didn't know that it was like automatically set up. I just happened to have my computer Steam already open, but I was in bed with my laptop. I figured, oh, I'll just fire up a game, and I had the game downloaded to both things, but I didn't realize that I hit stream instead because it detected that both of them were on the network. Then my computer started running the game, and I was like,
yeah, it works amazing. Like, it's so smoothly set up. As long as you have your account linked to both systems and Steam is open on both systems, it'll work like that. You don't have to futz with it. It'll just work.
The one issue I have is that my monitor is actually a TV, so I gotta adjust it for overscan. Which slightly reduces the resolution size, and that shows when you convert to another. Like, the laptop's got the same screen ratio, but because it's tweaked to be a little bit smaller dimension wise, it actually skews the image a little bit. But I would assume that if I was using an actual just big computer dedicated monitor, it would look exactly the same.
Yeah, but it's a very interesting controller. I do like the trackpads. They're very cool. The one on the left is kind of a bit iffy for scrolling up and down, but I really like the one on the left. It works really nice.
The controllers themselves were on the tech news this week too, because
you could print custom pieces.
People actually, Steam wants people to do it to see if they can better perform or better customize the controller. They basically released basic schematics for CAD 3D printers.
And I saw
can design their own.
And I saw that people could develop their own backplate to put like the dongle in it if you're not using the controller, which would be pretty awesome because there's actually no place to put the dongle in the controller if it's not in use and you're bringing it somewhere. You have to leave the dongle out of the controller, which you could potentially lose the dongle, or which would suck.
Oh, so that's kind of a funny word, dongle.
A dongle.
Kicked right in the dongle.
But yeah, I don't know where I put the box, but the box for the controller was super awesome because there was this sleeve that went over the box, and inside the sleeve was the schematics for the controller, which was super awesome. And it was just like this blown out set of schematics for the controller. So props on for Valve for making an actually pretty awesome little piece of hardware for their first set of hardware components that they started building. So
I've been playing a lot of Division. I finally hit level 50, but since the game came out, I put in 5.5 days worth of game time. And I can tell you one thing: the PlayStation controller, it's a great controller, but I have fairly wide hands. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
And it hurts basically like after a long gameplay here, just because it's got to conform around the controller. If this was a little bit thicker, like what I'm seeing on your controller, it'd be better.
Yeah, that's just it. It's very similar to the Wii U controller. Yeah. And I believe the Wii U controller is a lot more comfier than the PS4 one, because the PS4 one is really round, and I don't know, it's really round. But like
I don't mind that it's round, but I feel like for somebody with big hands, it's not thick enough.
Yeah.
Insert your innuendos there, but that's really just the case.
Well, yeah, that's just it. There's a lot of crunching your hand like that, holding it, compared to, something like the Wii remote that you're not rolling around, and even more like this one that you're holding it and you're not wrapping your hand around, and it's a nice and comfortable feel. So I do applaud them on the design, and I do adore these clicky buttons on the bottom. So yeah, and the battery pack is very interesting because the batteries go inside the actual handles on both sides.
Does it
So it
have
makes
feedback rumble?
yes.
Okay.
Even if you're like just using the trackpads as your keyboard, like as your mouse in Windows mode, like you can actually use it when you're in Windows and go through whatever. If you are on using a web browser, you can go back and forth with this. Click and on like left click and right click. Use your mouse, scroll up and down, all these different things. Really cool.
So it basically conforms a mouse into a controller.
Yeah, and that was Valve's idea, because the whole idea of playing an RTS or a lot of these games with a 360 controller just doesn't really work. But with this, it actually does work. But I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do with I'm pretty sure they're going to bring out a 2.0, like a version 2 of the controller, and it'll probably be a million times more refined and a lot better.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's my take on the Steam controller.
I think the one thing that they really need to add, though, is possibly an automatic detection within Steam, and then it could calibrate itself to the games.
Yes.
Just for simple UI's sake.
Yeah, and that's just it. Like, if you have a game that's controller supported, you're fine. I'm guessing it'll adapt. Like, I haven't played much with it because I've only had it for about a day and a half, and I wasn't home today, so I didn't really get to play with it much. So, okay. But the more I get to play with it, the more I can actually give a full, oh my god, it can do this, it can do that. From the little amount of time that I got to play with it, it was pretty cool.
So it sounds like we're getting a review on it?
Yeah, I'm probably going to be writing a review up on this thing and talking more about it the more I play with it. Yeah. But I need to play with it a lot more for me to give my full 2 cents. Solid controller. It feels great. Just a bit touchy at some points, but it's new tech. And I have to tweak the settings to be awesome. So I think that's our whole dipsy doodah for today.
We managed to stretch it out to a full episode.
Oh, we did. Awesome. All right. We were talking porn with VR and messed up AI. Awesome. On your TechItAll for today. So if, you like reviews, film stuff, games, movies, tech stuff, stuff, go to the website. You can also go to Twitter, go to Facebook, go to Friendster, MySpace, and all this other crap. Go to Google Plus. We have that also. So if you like it, send us a like, give us a little like, or put a comment down below if you want us to talk about something on an upcoming episode. Send us a message.
Feedback is definitely one of the best things for us to work with, because it gives us an idea of what people actually want to hear us talk about.
Because it gives us topics to talk about. We just went on a random rant about the Steam controller, and that was pretty awesome. Because I love to buy crap. I'm a fan of buying crap. So, for the TechItAll podcast, I am Pino25. What up?
Hilarious.
And have a good night.